Tonight's story is a peaceful journey into the wizarding world, a slow, calming retelling of what it's like to be accepted to Hogwarts for the very first time. From receiving your letter, to boarding the train, to choosing your house and exploring the castle, this story is written to help you unwind, relax, and fall gently asleep. There are no loud moments, no surprises, just soft magic, warm imagery, and the quiet comfort of a first night at Hogwarts. So, settle in, breathe slowly, and let the story guide you toward rest.
You wake before the sun, not because of an alarm or a knock at the door, but because excitement stirs you awake long before morning is ready. For a moment, you lie still, the blanket warm at your chin, breathing in the cool air of the early hour. The world outside your window is blue and quiet, that breathless shade of dawn that feels half dream, half reality. Today is the day you board the train to Hogwarts, the day everything changes. But for now, the world is still gentle, still soft, still yours. You rise slowly, collecting the clothes you laid out the night before, hands brushing the fabric as if to reassure yourself that it's real. Your wand, still new, still strange, lies waiting on the bedside table. A pale beam of dawn light catches its wooden surface, and for a heartbeat, it almost seems to glow. You get dressed quietly. There's no rush. There's nowhere to be except exactly where you are, moving at the pace of breath, letting anticipation warm you rather than overwhelm you. Downstairs, your packed trunk rests by the door, letters tucked into its inner pocket, robes folded carefully, books with unbroken spines, a cauldron that still smells faintly of fresh metal, and perched atop the trunk, your pet, an owl, or a cat, or a toad, depending on what fate or whim led you to choose. It watches you with sleepy eyes, as if it understands this morning is special, as if it knows you need calm more than chatter. The house is quiet. The world outside is quiet. Only your heartbeat is loud, a steady drum reminding you that this journey is yours alone.
By the time you reach the station, the city around you has begun to stir. Carriages roll past, steam puffs from early trains, and the murmur of travelers blends into a soothing hum. You walk beside your family, or whomever raised you, whoever stood by you, whoever watched you grow. Their presence is warm but distant, like a lantern carried behind you. They are part of your past, your foundation, your story's root. But this next chapter, this part is yours. You reach the barrier between platforms 9 and 10. A trolley rattles beneath your hands. Your family gives their final advice, some gentle, some anxious, all earnest. And then, with a deep breath, you step forward. The barrier melts around you like mist. A warm gust of steam rises under your chin, and suddenly, there it is. Red steam billowing into the air, owls hooting softly in wicker cages, cats curled atop trunks, students in robes of various lengths, most of them still growing into who they will be. And dominating the platform,
The Hogwarts Express. A long, gleaming scarlet train, polished brass reflecting the morning light, its windows fogged with warmth. It rumbles gently, as if purring, as if welcoming every nervous first year. You swallow. Your heart beats once, deep and full, and then you push your trolley toward the nearest door. Inside, the warmth envelops you instantly. Carpets deep and soft underfoot. Lanterns glowing with a steady golden light. The air faintly scented of tea and old wood. Upper-year students wander in the corridors in clusters, but the compartments themselves are scattered with quiet pockets of new beginnings. You find an empty one. The seat is plush, the windows slightly cool to the touch. Your trunk fits perfectly beneath your feet. Your pet settles beside you, closing its eyes. The rise and fall of its breathing mirrors the slowing of your own. Outside, the whistle blows, a long, low note that vibrates in your chest. With a soft jolt, the train begins to move. Buildings slide away, then the platform, then the city itself. You lean your head against the glass. The world opens, and countryside begins to roll past in a blur of green and gold.
Not long after the train has settled into its steady rhythm, there's a quiet knock at your compartment door. You look up. 2 students stand there, both clearly first years, nervous, hopeful, unsure where to sit. Mind if we join you? Their voices are soft, but there's something in their eyes, excitement, curiosity, that tells you they might become part of your story. Maybe for a year, maybe for 7, maybe for a lifetime. You nod, and they step inside. They introduce themselves, names that will later feel familiar, but right now, they're simply sounds waiting to become memories. You talk about your wands, your pets, your fears, your hopes. Someone produces a pack of chocolate frogs, the cards inside becoming tiny sparks of amazement, like finding treasure in an ordinary moment. The train clatters. Laughter rises slowly. The sun arcs higher in the sky. And just like that, you are no longer alone. As hours pass, the train settles into its long, sighing rhythm. Steam puffs gently from the engine, drifting past the windows like silver ghosts. Fields stretch endlessly. Villages flicker by, their rooftops bright in the late morning sun. Forests rise, tall, ancient, their leaves shifting in colors that somehow feel older than magic itself. Your new friends talk, then nap, then talk again. Each conversation softens, becoming slower, more relaxed. You watch the clouds move, you count the sheep in distant fields. Your eyes grow heavy, lulled by the rocking of the train. But just when sleep begins to creep in, the world outside begins to change. The hills grow steeper, the forests denser, the skies darker. Magic thickens in the air like mist before rain. You sit up a little straighter, your heart quickens once again.
Late afternoon sunlight breaks through the clouds, washing the world in gold. And then, there it is. Far beyond the dark lake, rising out of the cliffs and shadows, lit by hundreds of glowing windows. Tall towers stretching toward the sky, bridges arching between ancient stone walls, flags fluttering in the breeze. A place older than memory, a place woven with enchantments deep as the bedrock beneath it. Your breath catches. The world seems to hold still. Even the train slows, as if paying respect. You press closer to the glass. Your friends lean in beside you. For a moment, you are all silent, sharing awe without words. The castle looks alive, warm light glowing through the windows, like the heartbeat of something ancient and wise. This is where wizards learn, where legends begin, where stories sleep in the stones, waiting to be woken. And you, small, nervous, hopeful, are part of it now. The train pulls into a small, lantern-lit station. Fog drifts across the platform, glowing in the lamps like soft silver. A giant figure waves first years forward with a booming call, "First years, this way!" His voice is warm, kind, larger than life. You step off the train, the cool air brushing your face. Your shoes crunch on gravel. Your heart drums steadily, a rhythm of fear and excitement mingled together. Your pet hoots or meows or croaks softly, as if reminding you that even now you are not truly alone. You follow the giant along a path that winds downward through trees toward the mirrored surface of the black lake. Moored along the shore are dozens of small wooden boats rocking gently in the dark water. "No more than 4 to a boat," the giant calls. You and your friends step into one, the lantern at the prow casting warm circles of light on the surface. The wood creaks softly under your feet. Your hands rest on the sides, steadying yourself. Your breath is visible in the cool evening air. Then, with a soft jolt, the boats begin to move, on their own, silently, smooth as drifting leaves. The water glows with reflections, moonlight, lantern light, soft ripples trailing behind each boat. And there, ahead of you, closer now than ever, Hogwarts rises in full view. It looks impossibly large, its towers reaching higher than mountains. Windows flicker with golden light. The distant shadow of an owl crosses the sky above. No one speaks. No one needs to. This moment belongs to every first year who ever crossed the lake. It belongs to you. The boats glide to the far shore and bump gently against the landing. You step out, your feet finding solid ground. The giant leads you onward, up carved stone steps, toward a pair of massive wooden doors that stand open, inviting, warm with flickering torchlight. Inside, the entrance hall, vast, echoing, awash in soft gold. The ceiling stretches higher than some trees. The stone floor glimmers. Long tapestries line the walls, depicting battles long forgotten and faces older than centuries. You inhale slowly,
The air smells of wax, old books, and something else. Magic. Pure and quiet, as steady as your own heartbeat. Your friends gather near you, their faces lit with awe. You feel your nerves settle. The castle feels welcoming, as if it recognizes you, as if it has been waiting. A stern but calm professor appears, robes flowing, her voice soft but sure. She welcomes you in words you will remember for years, words about courage, loyalty, wit, and ambition, about finding your place, your people, your path. Her voice is not rushed, not harsh, not demanding. It is steady, reassuring, kind. She tells you that your house will become your home within the school, the place where you will rest, study, grow, and become who you are meant to be. Your heart thumps, your fingers warm, your chest fills with a quiet certainty. Whatever happens, you are ready. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You and the other first years gather outside the tall doors leading into the great hall. The hum of students beyond the wood sounds like a warm ocean. Laughter, murmurs, shifting chairs. The smell of food, roasts, spices, breads, puddings, drift faintly through the cracks. Your stomach rumbles softly. Your friends smile. Everyone is nervous. Everyone is excited. You stand in a small cluster of robes and whispers, feeling the castle's warmth seeping through the stone beneath your feet. The lanterns flicker. The moment stretches, soft and timeless. You breathe slowly, letting calm wash over you. In and out. In and out. This moment, the last moment before the sorting, feels suspended between childhood and something new. A quiet threshold. And when the doors begin to open, the warm glow spilling out on your face, you feel the future unfold like the turning of a page. The great doors swing inward with a soft, echoing groan, and warm light spills out around you like a welcoming tide. For a heartbeat, you stand still, framed in the doorway with the other first years, and then the crowd inside comes into view. The great hall is larger than anything you imagined. 4 long tables stretch from end to end, crowded with students in black robes, faces turned toward you. Candles float above them in mid-air, flickering gently, their wax never quite melting, their light reflecting in polished plates and goblets. High above, where there should be a ceiling, there is only sky, deepening into evening, clouds darkening at the edges, stars just beginning to appear. It looks so real that you have to remind yourself you are indoors, under stone and spellwork. The sound washes over you, a low wave of whispers and laughter, the clink of cutlery, the rustle of robes. It should be overwhelming, but somehow it isn't. The castle seems to hold the noise at arm's length, as though it's been hearing the same sound for centuries and knows exactly how loud it should be. You walk forward with the others, footsteps tapping softly on the stone floor. Your group gathering near the far end of the hall where a single, smaller table sits. The teachers sit there, robes in rich colors, faces curious and calm. Some look stern, others amused, but none of them seem surprised. They have seen all of this before. The nervous faces, the wide eyes, the invisible question hanging over every first year's head. Where will I belong? Your gaze is pulled upward to a tall old wizard seated at the center of the staff table. His eyes are bright and kind, and his beard spills over the front of his robes like silver smoke. He smiles just a little as he watches you all shuffle into place, and there is something in that look that settles your heart. You do not know him, not yet, but suddenly you feel very certain that he knows you, or at least that he intends to.
In front of you, on a simple wooden stool, sits an old, battered hat. Its brim is frayed, its point slumps slightly to one side, and the fabric is worn with use and age. It looks like the last thing in the world that should decide anyone's fate. And yet you know, every witch and wizard in this hall knows that this hat has done exactly that for generations. You stand there, your robes whispering around your ankles, watching the hat, feeling all those eyes on your back. Your hands curl lightly at your sides. Beside you, one of your new friends swallows hard. The other one leans forward slightly, chin up, as if daring the process to begin. And then the hat moves. A tear near the brim stretches wide like a mouth. The great hall falls quiet, the way a forest goes still before the first drop of rain, and the hat begins to sing. The tune is old and a little odd, its voice scratchy but strong as it fills the hall. It sings of the 4 founders who built this place, of bravery and wit, of loyalty and ambition, of the houses that bear their names, each one a chapter in the story of the school. It sings of how no one quality is better than another, how each has its place, how all are needed to keep Hogwarts whole. It reminds you that inside each student there is more than one kind of strength, more than one path that might have been taken. You listen, your heart slowing with the rhythm of the song. The words are new to you, but they feel like something old and comfortable, like a story told too many times to ever truly forget. By the time the hat finishes and bows its floppy tip to the room, you are breathing a little easier. You understand now that this is not really a test, not something to pass or fail. It is a conversation between you and the magic woven into the heart of this castle. A way of saying, who are you and where will you feel safe enough to grow? A professor steps forward with a scroll, unrolling it with a faint crackle of parchment. Names are called. One by one, first years step forward, trembling or grinning or staring straight ahead. They sit on the stool. The hat is lowered onto their heads. Sometimes it shouts a house almost immediately. Sometimes it hesitates, squinting and muttering to itself, considering what kind of person sits beneath it.
Each time a house is named, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, one of the 4 long tables erupts in polite applause, sometimes with a cheer, sometimes with a whistle or a laugh that sounds like they have just gained another piece of a puzzle they've been quietly assembling. You watch this for a while, almost lulled by the repetition. Name, walk, sit, hat, house, applause. A simple pattern, soothing in its predictability. Each student finds a place, each place makes room. The hall glows warmer with every new addition, like a hearth that grows hotter as more logs are added to the fire. At last, the scroll reaches your name. Your stomach flutters. Your feet feel suddenly heavy and light at the same time, but you step forward anyway. There is a kind of quiet courage in this, you realize. Not the bravery of duels or dragons, but the bravery of being seen. The hall stretches around you, and for a moment you hear nothing but your own heartbeat and the faint hiss of the torches. You climb the single step to the little platform, sit down on the stool, and fold your hands in your lap so no one will see them shake. The hat comes down over your eyes and the world disappears. You are inside the hat now, or perhaps the hat is inside your thoughts. Everything is dim and still. The noise of the great hall fades until it feels miles away. There is only your breath, slow and shallow, and the faint tick of your heart. Ah, a dry, amused voice says near your ear, "Here you are." You don't speak out loud. You're not sure you could. But you think, a little uncertainly, "Hello?" The hat chuckles, the sound like dry leaves rustling on stone. "Oh, yes. Very polite. Nervous, too. But that's to be expected. Let's have a look, shall we?" You feel something brush gently through your mind, not prying or pushing, more like someone flipping through the pages of a book you left open on a table. Memories float up without being called. The first time you made something float half an inch off your desk. The feeling of being different without knowing why. Nights spent staring at the ceiling, wondering what your future might hold. The first letter. The first spark of hope. The hat says thoughtfully. You're curious. You ask questions that others might let pass. That speaks of a sharp mind. There's a hunger for understanding here, a wish to know the why and how behind every charm and whisper. Ravenclaw would make a fine home for that. You feel a small flutter in your chest. The picture of high towers, shelves of books, quiet conversations under a sky full of stars. But you're kinder than you know. Quick to notice when someone is left out, slow to leave them there. You want to prove yourself, yes, but not alone. You want to walk beside people,
not in front of them. That sort of heart would sit very well in Hufflepuff. Now you see warm rooms, laughter by the fire, the comforting weight of shared work and shared rest. And there is courage, the hat muses, sounding almost pleased. Not the loud kind, all speeches and boasts. No, yours is the quiet kind. The courage to try again after failing, to stand up for someone who cannot stand up for themselves, to keep going even when no one is watching. That's the making of a Gryffindor. Images flicker again. Red and gold, the roar of a fire, hands clasped in solidarity before stepping into something unknown. Ambition, too, comes the soft, thoughtful whisper. You want to be more than you are now. You want to grow, to change, to do something that matters. You hate the idea of being forgotten by the world. That is not a flaw. That is the spark from which many great things are made. Slytherin would teach you to shape that spark, not smother it. You glimpse green light, a sense of strategy, the feeling of moving pieces on a board carefully rather than rushing them forward. The hat is quiet for a long moment, and you feel it weighing all of this, not judging, simply observing, like a gardener deciding which soil would best suit a seed. At the end of it all, the hat says gently, a house is a home, and a home is a place where your best self is invited to come out and stay. You think not of colors or crests, not of stories you've heard about any particular house, but of what you truly want. A place where you can feel safe, a place where you can be wholly yourself, a place where the parts of you that feel scattered might finally, slowly come together. The thought doesn't need words. The hat catches it anyway. Ah, it says quietly. So that's it then. It raises its voice and the world rushes back. You hear your house called out, the one that will be yours for the years to come, the one that will appear on your scarf, your tie, your heart. The table belonging to that house erupts in applause and cheering, filling the hall with warmth. The noise is not frightening. It is welcoming, like a door thrown wide on a winter night. The hat is lifted from your head. Light floods your vision again. You blink, dazed, and find the professor smiling at you, gesturing toward your new house's table. You walk toward it on legs that feel strangely light, as if the floor itself is carrying you along. Your new housemates reach out to clap your shoulders, to wave you closer, to make room on the bench for you to sit. Welcome, someone says. Their accent, their tone, their face, all of it will blur with time, but the warmth of that word will not. You're one of us now. You slide into the empty space beside them. Across the hall, the sorting continues. You watch as your friends step up, one by one, to take their own place on the stool. You recognize the same tension in their shoulders, the same quiet hope in their eyes. Your chest tightens when each name is called for a house. You clap when they join you, or when they sit at other tables and grin at you from across the hall.
mouths forming exaggerated, excited words you can't quite hear. The sorting goes on and on, but the repetition is soothing now. Each new student means the house tables grow fuller, voices grow warmer, the hall grows cozier. You begin to relax, sitting straighter, shoulders loosening, hands resting open on the table. At last, the final name is called, the last student sorted. The battered hat is carried away, the stool is taken aside. The head of the school rises at the staff table, arms spread as though embracing the whole hall at once. His voice is calm and cheerful, carrying easily even though he does not shout. He welcomes you, all of you, to another year at Hogwarts. He speaks of safety and learning, of friendship and responsibility, of magic and the care with which it must be used. You don't remember every word. You will not be able to quote the speech later. But you remember how it feels, secure, like being wrapped in a warm blanket on a cold night. You are not simply being sent off to work and study. You are being invited into a place that wants you to thrive. When the speech ends, he sits, and with a single clap of his hands, the empty plates in front of you transform. Food appears, not just in portions, but in abundance. Roasted meats, steaming vegetables, platters of potatoes, gravy boats, baskets of bread, jugs of water, pitchers of pumpkin juice. A feast waiting to be shared. The smell rises all at once, rich and comforting. Your stomach lurches in delight. You hadn't realized how hungry you were until now. Go on, someone beside you says with a grin. It's not going to eat itself. You reach for a dish, your fingers brushing against another's. You both laugh, apologizing at the same time. And that tiny, awkward moment turns into a tiny bond. The table begins to buzz with conversation as students pass plates, recommend favorites, and compare summers. You eat slowly at first, still dazed, but it's impossible not to be swept along by the rhythm of dinner. Bite by bite, the feast works a kind of quiet magic on you, the kind that has nothing to do with spells and everything to do with comfort. As you eat, you listen.
Older students recount stories about classes you haven't taken yet, charms lessons that went wonderfully or terribly wrong, potions mishaps that turned cauldrons into something resembling molten jelly, the first time they managed to spell properly. There are warnings too, but they're offered with a smile. Which staircase likes to move when? Which suit of armor has a habit of humming loudly at odd hours? Which poltergeist enjoys throwing ink pots if you walk under his favorite chandelier? You learn names, housemates, prefects, teachers. You forget half of it almost immediately, but it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you are learning the shapes of things, how it feels to belong here, how the house holds itself together to shared stories and quiet jokes and simple, repeated kindnesses. Dessert appears as the meal winds down, strange sweets and familiar ones, puddings and pies, fruits and cheeses. You try more than you intend to because each new taste seems to carry the promise of a memory you haven't had yet. Eventually, the plates clear themselves. The candles burn lower and the hall grows quieter in a way that feels like someone letting out a long, satisfied sigh. The head of the school rises once more, only to wish you all good night and remind the first years to follow their prefects to their common rooms. A murmur of chairs and robes and footsteps fills the air as everyone begins to stand. You push back from the table, heart full. You are tired now, not just from the journey, but from the weight of everything you have seen and felt. It is a good tired, a gentle tired, the sort that comes at the end of a day well spent. Your house's prefects gather you and the other new students with calm efficiency. They smile, they count, they make sure no one has wandered off or been left behind. You fall into step with them, your friends close at your side as you follow them out of the great hall. The doors close behind you with a solid, reassuring thud. The castle at night is different. Torches burn lower along the walls, their light softer now, throwing long shadows that stretch across the floor. The chatter of the students fades with each corner you turn, until you can hear only your group's footsteps echoing quietly through corridors lined with portraits that murmur and shift in their frames. You walk up staircases that bend ever so slightly under your feet, down passages that curve in gentle arcs, through archways carved with symbols you don't yet understand. You don't try to memorize the path. There will be time for that. For now, you simply follow the steady voices of your prefects and the pulse of the castle's calm. With each step, the noise of the day falls away, like dust shaken from a cloak, until all that remains is the soft glow of torches, the murmur of your new housemates, and the quiet promise of rest. Somewhere ahead lies your common room, the place that will be your refuge, your nest, your small patch of Hogwarts to call home. But that is the story for another part of the night. For now, you walk, and Hogwarts
The prefect
walks
leads
with
your
you.
group away from the Great Hall, their voice soft and steady as your footsteps echo through long stone corridors. The halls are quieter now, the castle settling for the night, as if it's exhaling after the excitement of a new year's beginning. Torches burn low, flickering gently, casting warm pools of light that follow your group like drifting islands on the floor. You walk slowly, partly because the hallways feel enormous, but mostly because everything looks new and enchanted. The portraits lining the walls shift lazily inside their frames, some of them yawning, others peering down at the train of first years with amusement. One portrait of a wizard in velvet robes gives you a sleepy nod. A woman in another painting adjusts her shawl and whispers to her neighbor, "New little ones, look how nervous some of them are." The frames rustle softly like leaves in a breeze. Your prefect glances back to make sure no one is getting lost. "Don't worry," they say lightly. "The castle looks confusing, but you get used to it. In a week, you'll know the shortcuts. In a month, you'll know which staircases are in a mood. And by the end of the year," they smile, "you'll know which portraits give the best gossip." You hear a couple of first years laugh quietly. The tension eases, warmth spreads in your chest. The path ahead feels less daunting with every step. Gradually, the prefect begins to split off the first years by house. You watch some of your new friends peel away down different corridors, maybe to the towers, maybe deeper into the dungeons, maybe toward the kitchens. You call soft goodbyes, promising to meet again at breakfast or charms or somewhere in between. But for now, your group continues its own journey toward the place where you will sleep, study, and grow for the next 7 years. Your common room, your house, your home within Hogwarts. The prefect stops before a portrait, a door, a staircase, or a stone wall, depending on your house. Their voice lowers to a whisper, as if to honor the moment. "Welcome," they say, "to your common room." And then they begin to show you inside. If you were sorted into Gryffindor, the prefect leads your group up staircases that spiral higher and higher, their stone steps warming beneath your feet with each turn. The air grows cozier as you climb, lit by torches burning brighter here than in the rest of the castle. You pass old wooden doors, suits of armor that give friendly nods, and windows that show the moon hanging over rolling school grounds. Finally, you reach the fat lady's portrait. An elegant woman in a pink silk dress, her cheeks rosy from the excitement of new arrivals. "Ho, first years," she exclaims, lifting her goblet in greeting. "Well then, password?" The prefect says it softly, and the portrait swings open like a door, revealing a circular passage lit with warm golden light. You step inside, and your breath catches. The Gryffindor common room glows like a hearth on a winter night. Deep reds and golds everywhere. Walls draped in banners depicting lions in mid-roar. Plush armchairs are gathered around a crackling fireplace that fills the room with a soft amber glow. The sofas look worn in the most comforting way, their cushions shaped by years of students sinking into them with books or secrets or dreams. A patterned rug covers most of the floor, thick enough that your footsteps fall silently. Windows overlook the dark grounds, their curtains swaying gently in the draft. A few older students lounge near the fire, greeting you with tired smiles. You hear someone say, "Welcome home," and it warms you more than the fire does. To your left, a staircase spirals up toward the dormitories. The prefect points to the girls' side and the boys' side, explaining the layout, but reassuring you that you'll find everything easily in the morning. You set down your belongings near your new bed. Soft red quilt, polished wooden chest, a window that shows the moon peeking between clouds. Your trunk fits neatly at the foot, and your pet curls up on the pillow as if claiming the space already. The common room below is alive but quiet, settling with the sounds of turning pages, creaking floorboards, soft laughter, and the gentle crackle of flames. It feels like a den, a sanctuary, a place where courage grows quietly in the shadows. You sit for a while near the fire, letting the warmth seep into your bones.
It's impossible not to relax, impossible not to feel safe. Eventually, the prefect calls softly. Time to bed, first years. You rise slowly, carrying the glow of the fire with you. Climbing the stairs to your dormitory, you feel sleep tugging gently at your mind. By the time you slip beneath the covers, the common room's warmth lingers like a promise. Tomorrow will come with challenges and classes and magic you've never tried before. But tonight, you rest, and Hogwarts rests with you.
If you were sorted into Ravenclaw, your path leads upward through quiet corridors where moonlight filters through tall windows like liquid silver. The air grows cooler and clearer as you climb, the castle's night-breathing calmness settling around your shoulders. The staircases here feel older somehow, more thoughtful, their steps worn smooth by centuries of curious minds wandering late. Finally, you reach a tall wooden door set in an archway of carved stone. Instead of a portrait, a bronze eagle knocker gleams in the center. As your group approaches, the knocker stirs, its wings rustling ever so slightly. A smooth, melodic voice asks, "What must be awakened before it can be known?" Your prefect smiles at you all. "You don't need to know the answer tonight. That's my job for now." They answer the riddle and the door swings inward. You step inside and feel your heart lift. The Ravenclaw Common Room is a wide circular space with arched windows stretching from floor to ceiling. Through the glass, you can see the night sky in all directions, stars scattered like powdered chalk across velvet darkness. Moonlight spills across the room, pooling on the blue carpet like gentle frost. Domed ceilings rise above you, painted in drifting clouds and constellations. Bookshelves line the walls, overflowing with leather-bound volumes and scrolls tied with ribbon. A soft breeze stirs pages now and then, as if the castle itself is reading alongside its students. Elegant tables and comfortable armchairs sit near the windows, perfect for quiet thinking. Candles burn steadily atop them, their light flickering gently in the breeze. Everything feels airy, peaceful, and full of possibility. Older students glance up from their studies, some giving you polite nods. Others smile faintly, as if remembering their own first night here and seeing a reflection of it in you. Your dormitory awaits up a small set of stairs. Round rooms with high ceilings, white beds with blue quilts, and small wooden desks tucked under each window. The room smells faintly of parchment and fresh ink. You place your things beside your bed, your pet finding a soft spot under the window. Outside, the sky stretches endlessly, stars winking gently as if welcoming you. You return to the common room for a final look. The floorboards creak softly beneath your feet. Everything here feels designed to inspire thought, to hold quiet conversations, to cradle 1,000 ideas. You feel lighter, clearer, calmer. The prefect's voice comes softly. "Off to bed now, big day tomorrow." You climb the stairs slowly, savoring the view. By the time you slip under the covers, the moonlight has painted silver patterns on your quilt. Your mind drifts. Thoughts soften. The stars keep watch. You sleep in a tower where dreams rise like smoke toward the sky.
If you were sorted into Hufflepuff, your journey follows a series of gently sloping corridors lit with warm, steady candlelight. The castle feels different here, less echoing, more intimate. The air smells faintly of earth and something sweet like warm bread. You pass a portrait of cheerful monks brewing something in wooden barrels. They wave at your group as you pass. Eventually, your prefect stops before a stack of barrels nestled against a curved stone wall. "This is our entrance," they whisper with a chuckle. "Don't worry, you'll learn the tapping pattern soon. And unlike some houses, no riddles, no passwords, just the right rhythm." They tap the barrels. Tap, 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 tap. A round door slides open and warm golden light spills out. You step inside and it feels instantly like home. The Hufflepuff common room is cozy and earthy, with low ceilings, round archways, and walls paneled in warm wood. Sunflowers and ivy trail from hanging pots, their leaves glowing softly in the candlelight. Plump yellow and black cushions rest on wide sofas, gathered around a large circular hearth filled with a comforting fire that crackles like distant laughter. Everything is soft, welcoming, gentle. The windows are small, round, and low to the ground. Through them, you can see the soft green slopes of the Hogwarts grounds. Even at night, they glow faintly under the moon. There are shelves filled with botanical books, baskets of knitting yarn, wooden stools carved with badgers, and tables scattered with games, puzzles, and old wizarding magazines. It feels less like a school hall and more like the warm common room of a country inn. Older students nod to you politely. Some wave. Others offer warm smiles that feel completely genuine. Your dormitory lies down a short hallway of round doors. Inside, the beds are large and soft, covered in patchwork quilts. Small copper lamps sit on bedside tables, giving off a warm honey-colored glow. The room smells faintly of cinnamon. You place your things beside your bed. Your pet curls immediately into a comfortable nook. Returning to the common room, you feel your shoulders drop. The air is warmer here, softer, as if every surface has been enchanted to encourage rest and comfort. The prefect calls out, "Head to bed whenever you like. You'll need your rest." You linger a moment longer by the hearth, letting the warmth seep into you completely. Then you climb into bed, sinking into the softest mattress you've ever felt. As your eyes close, you hear muffled laughter from the common room, soft and friendly. It fades gently into quiet, and you sleep in a place that feels like safety woven into walls.
If you were sorted into Slytherin,
Your path leads downward through cooler, quieter hallways lit with silvery torches. The castle feels different here, not unfriendly, just still. as though the stones are holding their breath. Your footsteps echo softly. Somewhere distant, water drips steadily. The air smells of river rock and old magic. Your prefect guides you to a long stone wall carved with serpent motifs. In the dim light, the serpents seem to shift and move, their eyes glinting faintly. They say a password softly. The stones slide apart without a sound. You step inside. The Slytherin common room is unlike anything you expected. It is vast, low-ceilinged, and elegant, carved directly into the rock beneath the lake. Green light shimmers across the ceiling, reflections from the water above creating shifting patterns like the scales of some sleeping creature. The walls are lined with dark wooden panels, polished to a gleam. Lamps of silver and green burn steadily in sconces shaped like coiled serpents. Large, comfortable leather armchairs are gathered around sunken fireplaces, where emerald flames flicker quietly. The room feels ancient and calm, like a sanctuary hidden beneath the world. Long windows look out into the depths of the lake. Shadows of fish drift past. Occasionally, something larger moves, something slow, graceful, and mysterious. The faint glow of the water casts dancing patterns across the stone floor. Older students sit reading or talking quietly. Some glance up as you enter, nodding with a subtle, welcoming acknowledgement. Your dormitories wait down a curved corridor. Inside, the beds are neatly arranged with dark green curtains, soft blankets, and silver-trimmed pillows. Your trunk fits neatly at the foot, and your pet finds a warm spot near the curtains. You return to the common room for a final look. Its deep, soothing stillness wraps around you like cool silk. It's peaceful in a different way from other places, more like a secret kept safe. The prefect's voice is soft. Off to bed, first years. Tomorrow begins your future. You nod, letting the quiet of the room follow you as you head to your dormitory. By the time you draw the green curtains around your bed, the faint shifting glow from the lake has already begun to lull you. You drift to sleep, wrapped in shadows and soft green light.
No matter your house, one truth settles deeply as you lie in your new bed. You have a place here, a room, a fire, a bed, a future, a place where you belong. The castle hums softly around you, warm stone, old spells, the breathing of magic itself. Your eyelids grow heavy, your mind slows, and your first night at Hogwarts becomes the gentle beginning of everything that lies ahead.
Morning arrives softly. You wake in your new bed to the gentle hush of your dormitory. Blankets rustling, quiet yawns, the faint tapping of someone's pet exploring a windowsill. Pale morning light filters through the curtains, tinting everything gold. For a moment, you lie still,
wrapped in warmth, the castle humming faintly around you like a living heartbeat. You remember where you are. Hogwarts, your new home. Your chest fills with that same quiet wonder you felt the night before, the kind that warms your lungs and eases your breath. You rise slowly, dress in your robes, and join your housemates as they file down into the common room. The fire from last night is glowing low, the smell of embers mixing with something sweet drifting from the kitchens. Students chat softly, the voices still thick with sleep. When you step out into the corridor, the castle is different than it was the night before. The torches burn brighter. The portraits are awake and stretching. A few suit-of-armor helmets glanced sideways as you pass, as if checking the new students for potential mischief. Your prefect leads the way toward your first morning of lessons. And as you walk, your heart beats faster, not with nerves, but with anticipation. Today is your first real taste of magic.
The Great Hall is warm and bright when you enter, sunlight streaming down through enchanted sky-ceiling clouds. The smells of breakfast, toast, eggs, porridge, something sweet and cinnamon wrap around you like a welcoming scarf. Students sit in their house groups, chatting, yawning, laughing over pumpkin pasties, pouring tea into steaming cups. You slide into a seat beside your new friends, who grin at you sleepily. Platters refill themselves as needed. Goblets fill with pumpkin juice at a touch. Owls swoop in through high windows, delivering morning letters, feathers drifting gently onto plates. It feels alive, comforting, safe. Your timetable is handed to you, a grid of excitement. Charms, potions, transfiguration, herbology, astronomy, defense against the dark arts, history of magic. You run your fingers along the parchment, imagining every class, every spell, every moment to come. When breakfast ends and the prefects gather the first years again, your stomach is warm, your heart steady, and your mind wide open. Magic waits. Your group heads down a bright corridor toward a cheerful room filled with sunlight. The windows look out onto the school grounds, the grass glittering with morning dew. Inside, desks are arranged neatly, feather quills resting on top of each one, parchment crisp and waiting. Your charms professor is small, kind-eyed, and energetic, their robes shimmering faintly as they move. They greet the class with a warm smile. Welcome, welcome. Today we begin with the basics: focus, intention, and a gentle but steady hand. Their voice is soft, rhythmic, calming. They show you the first charm, Lumos. Not to blind anyone, mind you, they say with a chuckle, just enough to glow like a candle. You practice the movement slowly, wand held lightly, breath steady, the word forming on your lips with quiet confidence, Lumos. For a moment, nothing. But then a soft spark ignites at the wand's tip. Small, gentle, like the first star of evening. Your heart lifts. Around the room, more wands flicker. Some glow steadily, some sputter, some shine brightly for half a second before fading. Every student gasps softly when the light appears, even if only for a moment. It feels like magic in its purest form. Simple, warm, honest. Your professor claps happily. Marvelous, absolutely marvelous. The class ends with spirits high, the room glowing faintly with lingering sparks. As you leave, you tilt your wand toward the corridor. Whisper it again. Lumos. A tiny light blooms. Your first real spell.
The path to the potions classroom leads down a long set of stairs into cooler, quieter hallways. The air carries a faint scent of herbs, minerals, and something earthy, like fresh soil after rain. The potions room is dim but not dark, lit by steady green lamps that flicker softly. Shelves line the walls, filled with jars of ingredients, dried roots, shimmering dusts, small vials of liquids that glow gently or swirl with mysterious color. Your potions professor stands at the front, robes smooth and immaculate, voice low and level, not unkind, just composed, calm, precise. Potions, they begin, is an art of patience and attention, not the flash of wands, but the steady understanding of how each ingredient complements another. You measure carefully, hands trembling slightly as you add a single drop of something violet into your cauldron. It hisses softly, its surface shifting from clear to pearly white. Your professor moves quietly between tables, offering guidance, correcting measurements, ensuring each brew simmers rather than boils. The room is peaceful, quiet bubbling, soft clinks of jars, pages of textbooks rustling. It feels almost like meditation. When your mixture turns the correct shade, soft silver, you feel a wave of relief and pride. It seems, your professor says with a rare smile, that you have the makings of a steady brewer. You walk out feeling grounded, calm, and strangely soothed by the cool quiet of the dungeon classroom. Transfiguration takes place in a bright classroom filled with objects that seem to be in a state of flux. Teacups turning to mice and back again. Feathers stiffening into needles before softening again. Your professor stands tall, their presence composed and commanding, yet gentle. Their smile is small but genuine. Transfiguration, they say, is not about forcing change. It is about encouraging what could be to reveal itself. The lesson begins with something simple, changing a matchstick into a needle. You focus, your wand steady. You try the movement again and again. You whisper the incantation softly, every syllable careful. At first, the matchstick only twitches. Then it lengthens slightly. Then, to your amazement, it glints faintly, half wood, half steel. Your professor's nod of approval feels like sunlight. Transfiguration is difficult, yes, but it is also beautiful. like watching possibilities unfold.
Herbology takes you outside into the fresh air, the sunlight warming your face. The greenhouses sparkle with dew droplets, each one catching the light like a tiny gemstone. Inside, the air is humid and fragrant. Earth, leaves, lavender, something citrusy, something ancient. Your herbology professor is cheerful and gentle, their voice warm and grounding. They guide you toward potted plants that quiver lightly when touched, leaves that curl shyly, flowers that change color depending on your tone of voice. Plants, they say, are simpler than spells and wiser than potions. Treat them with respect, and they will teach you things you never knew you needed. Your first lesson is with small puffball plants that shake when they're watered too quickly. You pour slowly, letting the soil soak each drop. Watching the little plant glow faintly in response is unexpectedly soothing. The greenhouse hums quietly. Bees in distant blossoms, soft rustles of leaves, warm sunlight filtering through enchanted glass. You leave herbology smelling faintly of earth, hands slightly dirty, heart full.
Your defense classroom is filled with old books, peculiar instruments, and softly glowing blue lanterns. Despite its intimidating name, the atmosphere is gentle, like stepping into an old library. Your professor welcomes you with a reassuring smile. This class, they say, is not about fear. It is about understanding. Only when you understand something can you choose how to face it. You start with something small, a creature made of smoke and shadow, drifting lazily inside a glass enclosure. It moves slowly, peacefully, almost like a dream. You learn how to cast a simple protection charm. Not a shield, not a battle spell, just a soft pulse of light to push back anything unsettling. Your first attempt glows faintly in your palm, warm and gentle. It's enough, your professor says softly. Light always begins small.
History of magic is perhaps the quietest class in the castle. The room smells of parchment and old ink. The professor speaks in a soothing, steady drone. Not boring exactly, just calming. So calming that a few older students struggle to keep their eyes open. You listen to stories of ancient enchantments, wizarding lineages, and the deep history of Hogwarts itself. The words drift over you like warm rain. It's peaceful, reassuring, like learning the lullabies of the wizarding world. Night has fallen when you climb the spiral steps to the astronomy tower. The air cools with each step. When you finally reach the top, the sky stretches above you, vast, endless, glittering with stars. Telescopes line the parapets, their brass pieces glowing faintly under the moon. Your professor's voice is quiet, as if speaking too loudly might disturb the sky itself. This, they whisper, is the oldest magic of all. You study constellations, trace lines between stars, breathe the cool night air,
and let the quiet vastness settle into your bones. It feels like standing inside a dream. By the time your first day of lessons ends, your mind is full, your body tired, and your heart softened by wonder. You learned spells that glowed in your hand. You brewed potions that shimmered. You watched stars drift silently across the sky. And through it all, the castle wrapped you in its steady, ancient calm. You walk back toward your common room. Steps slow, eyelids heavier with each corridor. Tomorrow will bring more magic, more challenges, more discoveries. But tonight is for rest. The castle is quieter than you've ever heard it. Even the portraits seem to whisper more softly now, their voices drifting like leaves in a slow breeze. You walk through dim corridors lit by torches burning low, shadows stretching long across the stones. The halls feel older at night, not frightening, just ancient, like you are walking through the dreams of the castle itself. Your feet are tired from the day. Your head is full of new things, spells and stories, glimpses of magic, new faces, new friends. But your heart feels full in a way you did not expect. Your prefect guides your small group back toward your common room. Their voice is gentle, as if matching the castle's quiet mood. "You did well today," they say, though they didn't watch your classes. The first day is always the longest. You nod without meaning to. You feel it too. A good longness, a soft kind of fullness that always comes after learning something new. When you reach your common room's entrance, portrait, riddle door, barrel wall, or sliding stone, the room welcomes you like an old friend. The colors feel warmer. The fire crackles. The chairs look even softer than they did that morning. Several older students linger near the hearth, talking in low voices, wrapped in blankets or with mugs of something warm. They smile at you as you enter, but no one speaks loudly. The whole place feels wrapped in a blanket of gentle calm. You think for the first time, "I belong here." And the thought lands softly inside your chest, warm and steady. You drift further into the room, the firelight painting golden shapes on the walls. You sink onto a sofa or sit cross-legged on a thick rug, letting your muscles relax for the first time since morning. Someone asks how your first charms class went. Someone else shares a funny moment that happened in potions. Laughter rises, quiet, tired laughter that comes more from warmth than amusement. You breathe slowly. You let your hands settle. Your shoulders drop. Somewhere behind you, a clock chimes softly, an old sound, deep and reassuring. Your pet curls into your lap or beside your feet, eyes half closed. Their presence is comforting, grounding. Almost everyone has a familiar nearby tonight. An owl preening softly on the back of a chair, a cat curled atop a stack of cushions, a toad in a small terrarium humming a sleepy sound. The older students begin to drift off to their dorms. One yawns so wide someone giggles. Another says, "Come on, first years, off to bed. You've earned it." You stand slowly, your body pleasantly heavy with the kind of exhaustion that promises deep sleep. The walk to your dormitory is short, up a spiral staircase, or through a stone archway, or down a cool hallway lit by lanterns. Your footsteps soften as you near your room. The castle seems to hush itself, as if recognizing that the day is ending for you. When you step inside the dormitory, the lights are dimmed, beds arranged neatly in a circle or a row, curtains drawn or half open, quilts soft and thick, pillows plump and waiting. Your bed is exactly as you left it this morning. It feels almost surreal that you now live here, that this is your space, your corner of Hogwarts. You set your wand on the bedside table. It looks peaceful there, as if it too needs rest. You loosen your robes, slip into something soft, and sit gently on the edge of your bed. Around you, your roommates talk quietly as they change into pajamas, small stories whispered in the dark. "Did you see the boat ride? I thought I'd fall in. My potion turned green. Was it supposed to? I can't believe we're really here." You exchange a few soft words too, but soon the room falls into a comfortable silence. One by one, each lamp is extinguished, leaving the room wrapped in gentle shadow.
You slip beneath the covers, thick, warm, with just the right amount of weight. Your pet circles once and settles at your feet or beside your pillow, purring or breathing slowly. Your body sinks into the mattress, the softness holding you as if the bed has been waiting for you all year. Your eyes flutter closed, then open again, unwilling to miss a single moment. Outside your curtained window, you can see the faint shimmer of moonlight, stars blinking slowly, clouds drifting like silent thoughts. The castle feels alive around you, but in a comforting way. A slow heartbeat, a distant hum, a sense of being held. You listen to the sounds of nighttime Hogwarts. A crackle from the dying fire in the common room. A portrait muttering sleepily behind its frame. A far-off hoot of an owl flying through dark corridors. Someone snoring softly 2 beds over. It all blends together into something soothing. A lullaby made of stone and magic. You breathe deeply. You feel the day sink out of your muscles. You feel your mind begin to loosen its grip on thoughts. You feel the slow quiet of night wrap around you. And then, something shifts. Not outside, not in the room, inside you. A realization. This is only the beginning. Not the end of a journey, but the first page of a long, long story. You smile into your pillow. A small smile, tired and content. The bed feels heavier now, comforting, inviting you deeper. Your eyelids flutter again. The day replays softly in your mind. The sorting, the feast, the laughter, the magic. Your first spell glowing at your wand's tip. Your friends' faces as they were sorted. The sound of the lake lapping against the boats. You feel the castle breathing around you. Steady, safe, ancient, alive.
Hogwarts never truly sleeps. Somewhere far below, the kitchens hum with gentle clinks and murmurs. Somewhere above, a ghost glides through a quiet tower, humming an old, long-forgotten tune. In a distant corridor, a suit of armor shifts slightly, as if settling more comfortably. The library sighs as its enchanted books rearrange themselves for the night. The forbidden forest rustles beyond the grounds, trees whispering secrets to the moon. But here, in your room, in your bed, everything is still. The castle guards you, shields you, holds your first night carefully, the way a mother holds a child's first dream. You are safe, you are warm, you are exactly where you need to be. Your breathing slows, your thoughts soften, blur, drift. You think of your family, of the morning train, of the first glimpse of the castle rising from the lake. You think of the future, not in sharp images, but in soft impressions, rooms filled with light, late-night studying, shared jokes, great halls and quiet corners, magic blooming quietly in your hands. Your pillow is warm beneath your cheek. Your fingers relax. Your pet's steady breathing lulls you further. You let go. You let the day fade gently behind you. You let the night take you. And slowly, slowly, you drift. You drift in the calm, ancient silence of Hogwarts. You drift in the warmth of your new bed. You drift in the soft glow of moonlight brushing your blankets. You drift in the certainty that tomorrow will bring more wonder, more magic, more memories. Sleep begins to pull you under like a gentle tide. And the castle whispers to you, not in words, but in feeling. Rest now. You are home.
The castle has grown very still. Somewhere far above your dormitory, the last torch in the highest corridor has burned itself low. Somewhere in a tower, a portrait subject has stepped out of their frame and into another, ready to spend the night gossiping quietly with an old friend. The great hall is empty now, its plates polished, its candles dimmed to soft, steady embers. Hogwarts is not asleep, not really. It is watching, guarding, breathing. And you are lying in your new bed, beneath your new roof, wrapped in blankets that still smell faintly of soap and castle air. Your eyes are half closed. You hear the soft rustle of your roommates shifting under their blankets, finding their own comfortable positions. Someone sighs in their sleep. Someone chuckles quietly at a dream only they can see. It all feels very far away and yet very close, like waves washing gently up and down a shore. Never loud, never startling.
You stare at the ceiling, or at the underside of your bed's canopy, or at the patch of wall nearest your pillow. The light in the room is faint, a soft glow from a nearly extinguished lantern, or a thin strip of moonlight sneaking around the curtains. Shadows lie peacefully around the room. They are not sharp. They are not menacing. They are soft-edged and still, like the shadows of clouds passing over long grass. You shift slightly, settling deeper into your mattress. It cradles you, conforming to the shape of your shoulders, your back, the weight of your limbs. The blanket presses lightly against you, not too heavy, not too light, just enough to remind you that you are here, that you are held, that you are covered. You breathe in. The air is cool, carrying the faintest traces of old stone, wood, and something warm. A hint of the embers still glowing in the common room hearth below, maybe, or the lingering scent of someone's lavender soap. You breathe out, slow, steady. You let the day unspool in your mind one last time, but gentler now, as if the memories themselves are getting ready to rest. You see the train platform, crowded and noisy. You see the scarlet train, bright and proud. You feel again the soft rocking of the carriage, the laughter in the compartment, the landscape sweeping by like a painted tapestry. You see the first glimpse of the castle, rising above the water, lit from within. You see the boats drifting across the lake, their lanterns glowing. You remember the hush that fell over everyone as the towers came into view. You see the great hall, wide and luminous, candles floating, sky stretched overhead, the sorting hat smiling faintly as it sings. You hear your name being called. You feel the weight of the hat on your head, the warmth of its voice in your ear, the strange comfort of being seen so clearly and accepted anyway. You hear your house shouted out. You remember the cheers, the warm wave of sound that rose like a promise. You belong here. You belong here. You belong here. You remember food. So much food. Sweet and savory, hot and comforting. More than you could eat, more than you could name. All appearing as if out of thin air, all weighing to be shared. You see your common room for the first time. Firelight, or moonlight, or soft green glow, or windows full of stars. You see your bed, your trunk, your pet, your housemates. And now you are here, at the end of your first night, in the place you only dreamed about before. The day folds itself up neatly, like a letter finished and set aside. There will be other days, other lessons, other moments when your heart beats fast, or your hands shake, or your wand trembles in your grip. There will be laughter so sudden it makes you gasp, and quiet evenings so peaceful you feel you could stay in them forever. But all of that can wait. Tonight is for one thing only: rest. You become aware of the tiny sounds that make up the night. Somewhere, the wood of the bed frame creaks softly as it settles. Somewhere, a floorboard in the corridor outside gives a thoughtful sigh. Somewhere beyond the walls, the wind moves around the castle in slow, looping currents, brushing against towers and windows in turn. From the lake, far below or beside you, comes a dim, rhythmic lap of water against stone. From the forest, the distant hush of leaves murmuring secrets to one another. From the sky, a faint rush of feathers as an owl glides past. The castle gathers all of those sounds, softens them, and wraps them around you like layers of blankets. You are safe here, it seems to say. You are very small in the grandness of things, yes, but you are not unnoticed, not forgotten, not alone. You think of the houses again, of the friends you met, of the ones sorted beside you, of the ones you glimpsed across the room, faces lit by candlelight and curiosity. Somewhere, they are all lying in their own beds now. In a tower, a Gryffindor first year stares at the ceiling, clutching the edge of their quilt, half excited, half nervous. In a high, airy room, a Ravenclaw first year falls asleep with a book open on their chest and starlight on their blanket. In a cozy underground dormitory, a Hufflepuff first year sleeps with one hand still resting unconsciously on the side of their bed, as if feeling the heartbeat of the earth itself. And deep below the lake, in cool green shadow, a Slytherin first year lies awake just long enough to watch the shifting water light play across the ceiling of their room, before sleep pulls them under. Each one of them is wrapped in this same quiet. Each one of them is held by the same walls, the same sky, the same ancient heartbeat. You are all different, but you are all here, and that ties you together more surely than any spell.
Your eyes close slowly, and stay closed a little longer this time. You feel your body with a kind of gentle curiosity. How heavy your arms have become. How pleasantly tired your legs feel after so much walking. How your back melts into the soft mattress. Your thoughts move more lazily now, like leaves on a slow stream. They drift in, drift out, never staying long enough to fully form. When one becomes insistent, a memory, a worry, a plan, you acknowledge it and let it float past,
carried away by the steady current of your breath. In, out, in, out. The rhythm is simple, comforting, older than any magic. The castle's breathing matches yours. Or perhaps your breathing has matched the castle's. You picture Hogwarts not as stone and glass and corridors, but as something living, a giant, gentle creature curled atop the hill. Its many windows like half-closed eyes, its turrets like folded limbs. Beneath its roofs lie hundreds of beating hearts, hundreds of minds drifting toward dreams, all of them under its protection, yours among them. You drift in and out of awareness. For a while you imagine walking the corridors at night, bare feet silent on the cool stone. You imagine tracing your hand along the old walls, feeling the hum of enchantments beneath your fingertips like the purring of a cat. You imagine stepping into the great hall when it's empty, candles burning low, tables bare, the enchanted ceiling showing a sky full of stars. You stand alone in the vastness, but you do not feel lonely. You feel small, yes, but in a good way, like a single note in a song, a necessary note. You imagine the library at midnight, shelves towering above you, books murmuring quietly in their sleep as their pages shift. You imagine reaching out and touching the spine of a volume that has been here longer than your great-grandparents' memories, feeling the tiny electric thrill of the knowledge inside. You imagine the greenhouses glowing faintly after dark, plants rustling gently as they breathe in moonlight and exhale oxygen and magic. You imagine the towers rising above it all, watchful and patient, keeping an eye on the grounds, the forest, the lake, the sky. And somewhere inside all of that, behind a single window, behind a single curtain, under a single quilt, you are a very small thing, but you are exactly where you are meant to be.
Your breath deepens. Thought and dream begin to overlap. Perhaps as sleep takes you, you will dream of your classes, spells that glow brighter than they did in waking life, potions that shimmer with impossible colors. Perhaps you will dream of walking the halls without ever quite reaching the end, doors opening onto scenes from your future, exams taken, friends found, fears faced, victories earned. Or perhaps you will dream of home, of your old room, the familiar walls, the familiar smells. Only now, Hogwarts will be standing somewhere just behind it, like a second layer of home waiting patiently in the background. Maybe you will dream of nothing at all. Just darkness, just rest, just the feeling of being carried gently downstream by time. There is no right way to sleep here, no right dream to have. The only thing that matters is that for now, for this moment, you allow yourself to rest. The world can be wide and strange and demanding. Magic can be dazzling and difficult. There will be days when you are tired, challenged, even a little afraid. But tonight, is not one of those days. Tonight is soft. Tonight is easy. Tonight is for surrender.
Time in the castle moves differently once your eyes are closed. Minutes and hours blur, smoothing themselves into one long velvety stretch. Somewhere between waking and deep sleep, you feel yourself float, lighter than feathers, heavier than stone, both at once. The castle keeps watch. If a window rattles, the frame holds firm. If a floorboard groans, the sound is softened by carpets and enchantments. If a storm passes over the hills, the roar of thunder is held at the walls like a hand pressed gently to a child's ear. You are protected by towers and turrets, by walls and wards, by spells older than your grandparents' grandparents. You are wrapped also in something simpler, the kindness of a bed prepared for you, the quiet companionship of others sleeping nearby, the steady rhythm of your own breath.
At the very edge of sleep, you hear a voice, not out loud, not something so sharp it would wake you, more like a feeling shaped into words. Sleep well, student of Hogwarts. Sleep under my stones, under my sky, under my care. Tomorrow I will show you more wonders. Tomorrow I will open more doors. But tonight I open only one, the door to rest. You sink through that door like a pebble sinking gently through still water. The surface closes above you. No ripple remains. You are deeply, peacefully asleep. You sleep beneath the castle. You sleep beneath the stars. You sleep inside the story you always wanted to enter.
And somewhere, far away, but also very close, a new day already waits on the other side of morning. Quietly, patiently, ready to begin when you are. For now, there is nothing left to do. No spell to practice. No question to answer. No answer to chase. Only this. Breathe in, breathe out. Rest.
Sleep well, traveler of the wizarding world. Your first night at Hogwarts has found its gentle close. May your dreams be soft, your heart be calm, and may you always remember, you are small, but you are not alone. You are learning, but you are not lost. You are resting now, and that is enough. Good night.